first-round pick from 2020. He's been struggling, been pretty up and down. Alexis Lafreniere, what's your thoughts on him? Is it premature to say maybe they need to move off of him at the end of the season, or what's going on?
So with Lafreniere, when we got the first overall pick in 2020, I was stunned and I was amazed that the Rangers even were able to land the first overall pick. And obviously, when he first came to New York, I expected him to get top line minutes. I thought this is the next franchise great for this organization. I thought the Rangers won the lottery 2 years in a row, getting the second overall pick in 2019 and then the first overall pick in 2020 was exactly what they needed. It was the recipe for success. They were going to be a young, talented team going forward. And last year was definitely the step that everybody wanted them to take, and that's making it all the way to the Eastern Conference Final. And Lafreniere was a huge part of that playoff run. Him with the kid line with Philip Hedl and Capo Caco, they were the best line on that team the entirety of the playoffs. But this season, it looks like Lafreniere has not been performing up to those standards. And it's concerning considering the fact that Hedl and Kako have taken their next steps. You can tell that the growth that they've had over the past few years has definitely been showing now. I think they're way stronger on the puck now. I think they have this skill set that makes them, in the top 30, top 25, top 30 players in the league right now. Definitely not top 10, but definitely shows them that we've finally been waiting for their production to hit, and now it's finally coming. But with Lafreniere, it seems that he's way too much in his own head. And you could see it when he's on the ice. I think Lafreniere definitely isn't sure of himself. I think he's a little bit more hesitant. He's not playing like a first overall pick, which is concerning. And I think another big thing that is a problem as well is the constant lineup juggling. I think he doesn't necessarily know where his place is fully on the team. And I don't think he knows what he wants to be. It's, do I want to be this player that can possibly score 30 goals a year? Or do I just want to be somebody that is okay with maybe only having 40, 50 points a season? I think he doesn't know exactly what he wants to be. I'm not worried yet. Listen, he's 21 years old. There's still so much more left of him to grow into a player, into a possible superstar. You don't get compared to great players coming into the NHL for nothing. Scouts and everybody saw what he was when he was in the junior leagues. Lafreniere still has it in him to be that first overall pick. I'm not giving up hope on him yet. I still think there's way more to be done. Once he gets back into the groove of things, maybe he gets a goal or so, get him going. I think Lafreniere is going to be totally fine with the Rangers.
Let's talk a little bit about pressure and Lafreniere. New York media, everything's bigger in New York. Do you feel like the pressure is getting to him? Again, look, if he is pretty young, but down the road, 2, 3, 4 years from now, if he's having these type of years, maybe, and maybe I'm a hater by saying this, people are going to consider him maybe a bust. Mm-hmm. So do you think, what is the pressure? How does the pressure play into it for him being in New York?
I think the pressure definitely plays into a lot of it, but, in my opinion, it's the most pressure you've had, was playing in the playoffs last year. There is nothing bigger than playoff hockey at Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. There is absolutely nothing like it. And listen, when he was in the playoffs last year, one of our best players. I think everybody was very excited coming into this year because they finally saw that they were blossoming into not just the kid line anymore. They were growing into these veteran players, it almost looked like. But with Lafreniere, it's confusing to me because of all players, I would think he would be the last person to struggle the most. But I'm not worried. I'm not going to label him a bust, anything like that. I'm not going to say that he doesn't have it in him because Lafreniere has had stretches of the season so far where he's been one of the better players on the ice. So don't give up on him yet. Maybe it's just a really, extended dry slump he's in. I'm not worried about him. I think the pressure is getting to him a little bit, but I think he just needs to take a moment to cool down, realize where he's at, realize that this team can pick him up at any point in time. He's going to be fine. I'm not worried about it, but it's definitely it's the more than halfway point of the season. So I think time's running out to finally figure out what you want to be.